Greetings and welcome to the first Sinful Needs tutorial video for the new A4 HUD. We're going to jump right into it with a tip that'll make it easier for you to see what I'm doing in the tutorial video, as well as prove to be useful for many of you in Second Life who would like to see the HUD be a little bit larger. Let's click the round A4 badge on the HUD. That'll bring up the HUD menu, and in there we want to go HUD Options, HUD Size, and we're going to go ahead and bump it all the way up to 150% to make things as clear as possible. It only takes the HUD a few seconds to resize all of its prims, and then it'll drop back down where it needs to be. One of the first things you may notice is a difference from the old HUD is there's now a column of quick buttons along the outside of the tab here. This will give you quick, convenient access to your animation override toggle, your sit anywhere button, your start or stop dancing button, and if you hold down that dance button for 3 seconds, you'll actually have access to the invite menu so that you can invite people to dance on your chim or remove people from your chim. And then there's a wing toggle to open or close your wings, a new draw sheath button so that you can draw or sheath your A4 weapon. You can see this is a prototype of one of the weapons I'm working on. All of the old swords will be getting the A4 treatment as well very soon. And then there's a quick button to bring up the HUD menu. And finally a center act quick button. And we'll be touching on that more in the center act panel video that'll be coming soon. So let's open the HUD back up and start at the top. You'll notice that there's a new row of indicators across the top. This tells you which attachments are registered with the HUD and ready to work. If I go ahead and wear the armored horns that go with the Seducer set, you'll see that as the horns res, that first light comes on. The green light means that the attachment is not busy and it's ready to receive commands. It can change to amber or blue depending on what type of process it's working on. The idea behind this bar of lights was to eliminate as much of that owner say chatter as possible, so your chat box should no longer be filling up with yellow owner say chat, particularly when you're changing a number of attachments all at one time. Below that we have the surface controls, and in the surface controls panel you'll see that there is a class selector. The class selector is what will determine which surfaces on your attachments will be changed when you assign a new texture or change the RGB value, animate a texture, change the brightness, the shine, the transparency, or the glow. You'll notice here there's a brand new link. You can turn this link on or off. While it's on, any changes that you make with the surface controls will not only be limited to that class, but they will also be limited to whichever attachment that you have selected in the attachment selector. This will let you, say, change the ivories on your horns while leaving your hooves alone. This all runs right next to the HUD badge, of course, and within the HUD badge you'll find access to stuff like turning the radar on and off, changing the radar colors that determine whether a name is within range or out of range. You can turn on your mic and configure the channel, turn your flight assist on or off, toggle on or off the brand new move lock, which is a passive move lock. When you stop moving it engages, and when you start moving it deactivates. There's also several other move enhancers that I just got through adding that I think everyone's going to have a lot of fun playing with. You can super leap, you can move at great speed when you double tap and hold, or if you set your movement to always run. And there's even what I call tracing. It's a super dash or a blink teleport that when you first double tap your movement key, you'll jump forward as far as 64 meters. Sometimes you can even blast straight through solid objects. It's all a lot of fun. Through the HUD options menu, you also have access to a HUD positioning. This can prove especially useful to lower your HUD away from the top or raise your HUD away from the bottom in case you happen to be conflicting with a viewer. This can be especially important in some of the third-party viewers that are based on Viewer 2. There's also a reset HUD button here, which you're going to use if you put any of the texture packs in. Below that, we've got the adjust button, which rolls out the PSR panel. And the PSR panel, of course, has your hide show larger, smaller, and your lateral movement keys all here on the left. And you'll notice that there's up, down, forward, back, left, and right. If you're dealing with pairs of attachments or subparts, like left and right will often mean together or apart. On the right side here you have your rotation adjustments, and then in between you have two reset buttons. The reset at the bottom resets whichever subpart you have selected to its original configuration, whereas the all at the top resets the entire attachment to its original configuration. We have all of our old accessories panels are still over here. Ears, wings, tail, weapon. And we have the AO panel, which now has two new buttons, the first of which is a stop all animations button, and the second one is a T-pose, so that you can pose without having to res a pose stand and line up your attachments properly. You may also notice that below here is your increments for positioning, scaling, rotating, animation speed, transparency, and glow. This is available under most of the panels, tail, wings, ears, weapon, and AO. When you bring up the dance HUD, that information changes to what you're probably used to seeing on the old HUD, which tells you whether your dance HUD is stopped or started, sequential or random, which dance is currently selected to play, and how many guests are dancing on your HUD. You may also notice that there is a new time here. This time can be configured individually in your note cards so that you can put a precise value for each dance animation. That'll let you string dance animations together relatively seamlessly to create choreography so that you're not stopping one animation in the middle and starting another one. The dance browser is still down here as a convenience. You can flip through either all dances, or you can flip through a particular group of dances that you have configured through the note card. And then you can just click on it, and you'll see that it sets it up here so that that'll be the dance that gets chosen when you decide to start dancing. And below all of that is the new Center Act panel. And this is definitely going to be worthy of its own tutorial video, but I will say that you will have easy access to a menu of all of your Center Act toys in one click here. And if you are interacting with someone else who is also using Center Act, you'll be able to target them, and you'll be able to easily access a menu with all of theirs as well. So there'll be no more of this hunting and clicking either on yourself or on whomever it is that you decide to interact with. And that sums up the new interface. Be sure to check back soon. My next video will be for the surface controls and customizing your accessories through that. Very shortly thereafter, I imagine you'll see one on the PSR controls. If you are checking out this video because you're just curious about Sinful Needs, I want to thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to IM Galathir Darkstone in World. I always respond to my IMs. Sometimes I'm not available as they come in, but I do always respond when I get a chance. And if you're already a customer, I want to thank you very much for supporting the store. If there's ever anything I can do, please just let me know. Stay sinful and have a great day.